Reaching that stage, is he going to be able to maintain the pressure and to force a stoppage victory? That was a good, solid left hand to the head of Pianetta, who once again is giving ground, sinking back onto the ropes, and Fury will be looking to really put his foot on the accelerator now.
Yeah, Tyson Fury, he's only got 3 rounds now, less than 3 rounds. He can see the finishing line, so he can start exerting a little bit more energy. And psychologically, maybe he wasn't sure how hard a pace he could fight after so many years out. But now he can see the finishing line. I think he's going to start putting his foot on the accelerator and really start putting some more meat into the shots.
Even though he's boxing at his own pace, so it makes it a lot easier. But it's still hard, you know, he's still got to be fit. And I think for a big fella carrying that weight around on the balls of your feet for 7.5 rounds, I think David's right. His fitness is there or thereabouts, almost ready for a big test. And he's boxing well, and even when he gets Pianetta on the ropes, he's not the bullish type of fighter, but he's moving around the target, so he's looking for angles, he's looking for the shots, so he's thinking while he's moving. So he's slowly ticking the boxes on this comeback trail, and we all want more from everyone we watch, but I think it's a decent display by Fury for sure. Good
body shots there, left hook and a right hook, and now he's right in his face. This is where Ben Davison wanted him, and this is where he wants to see him just produce those little angles to find the opportunity to land hurtful hooks. Is he going to be able to do so? Skips to one side, and there you saw the right hand underneath the elbow, trying to maneuver his way in, trying to work his way in, David.
He's doing the right thing. He's got a guy who has lost the snap in his punches now, and he's a physically bigger man, so he's just roughing him up inside. All of these exchanges, Tyson Fury will come out the better. These shots to the body, round the sides, none of them are flush, but they're draining Pianetta's energy systems. He's going to come back to the centre of the ring, and he's going to be slower now. Tyson Fury is going to be the same. Pianetta's going to be a lesser fighter after those exchanges on the ropes.
Important psychologically, Barry, for Tyson to get these rounds under his belt, maybe. And after, what was he out, 924 days or something, and went grossly out of condition, to actually come back and be able to put rounds together like this, psychologically important.
Well, we said from the offset, I think getting those rounds in the bag, even at this pace, and he dictated the pace, is good. And I think, as David said earlier, just a minute ago, he's starting to put a bit more weight in his shots now as Pianetta gets tired. Pianetta, for me, any sort of desire he had looks to have gone off on Pianetta.
Fury switching southpaw now, and the 8th round comes to a conclusion. And still, for me, a complete shutout, and you can see the rain coming down there. It is a very wet night now here in Belfast, not so in the ring, and mercifully, no real wind at the moment, so no problem.
No, and Tyson's having it all his own way. There's a lovely little shuffle there with the right hand, disguising that left hook from Fury. There's a lovely little, clever little shot. Vintage sort of Fury punch, that is. A little bit of a maverick move, you don't see it coming, but a big fella, which have such be so agile, but again, I think if he sustained attack, and I think Pianetta folds.
I don't doubt, David, that there were some armchair critics out there saying, well, why can't he just go and blow this guy away? But that's never been his game.
That's not his style, that's not his game, that's not what his attributes are. He's not a one-punch specialist, and if he went out there looking for that, all he would do is mess his rhythm up and get caught with big shots himself. Doing what he's doing is the right thing, breaking his opponents down slowly and looking for that one shot the right way, not forcing it. If the shot presents itself, he'll be there to land it. But if it doesn't, he's happy with a points decision.
2 rounds to go, Barry, and it's all Tyson Fury, and here he comes as the southpaw.
Well, it was, let's be honest, it was never a fight that we thought he could lose it, unless he was just dreadful, unless he lost all his snap. So he's clearly got the movement back, and that's very important, because he's going to need that against the world-class opposition. This good time in the distance, that's back, that's good. Fitness looks pretty good. So, he's not far off. I think he gets a little bit more toned for the next contest, whenever that may be. And, and then we got the Tyson of when he beat Klitschko, that sort of Tyson, the maverick, the fast mover. And we'll wait and see. But Pianetta's sort of, the slow feet helps Tyson out a lot. But he hasn't allowed Pianetta any opportunity to get back into the fight.
Well, he'll have another 2 or 3 months of concerted preparation before a potential fight with Deontay Wilder. It's not been announced yet, but you don't really need to be a great crystal ball gazer to realise that it's very much in the plans. The big American wouldn't be here if there weren't advanced negotiations for that fight to happen. and I wouldn't be surprised if it's announced very soon after this, provided nothing goes wrong in the remaining time.
Well, you see, the Wilder will be watching ringside now thinking, oh, he got good movement, and Fury spins well, as he said himself, out off the corners, but he gives you opportunities, and you can clip him with shots. And obviously Wilder, if he clips you with the shot, you don't get back from it, you don't get up from it sometimes. So, but then I think you can't underestimate how awkward and tricky I think Fury actually is. But any big puncher will fancy Fury because he drops his hands in range and gives you a chance, and that's what makes him, in some fight scenarios like that, an exciting proposition.
People fancy him, but nobody thus far. He's been down against a couple of fighters earlier in his career who really nobody gave a chance of doing anything against him, and that was maybe through a lack of concentration as much as anything else. He'd certainly say so. And he believes, I mean, talking to him this week, he believes that he is by a distance a superior boxer to Deontay Wilder.
This is debatable, you know. Tyson Fury in his mind believes that, but I guarantee if you speak to, go across the ring from us now and talk to Deontay Wilder, he'll give you a polar opposite analysis. Both fighters are very, very different skill sets. Deontay Wilder is a sharp shooter. He doesn't waste punches. You know, he throws the kitchen sink every single punch. And I've had him in for sparring camp. I've had him in camp for sparring on a couple of occasions for a few weeks at a time. And believe me, Deontay Wilder has got dynamite in both fists.
And he's fast and athletic, isn't he? He really is an athlete.
His defence is deceivingly good also.
Oh, that's a good left hand from Fury. Pianetta saying there's nothing in it. Come on, let's have some more. And one up to the bell from Fury. But just one round remaining. And that is another 10-9 round in Tyson Fury's favour. It's going to be a complete shutdown.
Of course it is, you know, and we're not shocked at that. But this little barrage of punches from Fury, and the footwork and the movement was fantastic. For people who love their boxing skill, it's a joy to watch for a big round. But a massive round like that, it really is.
Here's a thought, maybe Tyson Fury is holding back because Deontay Wilder, possibly his next opponent, is ringside. Maybe he doesn't want to show just how good he really is. Maybe he wants to, you know, keep something up his sleeve to give a full sense of security to Deontay Wilder. You never know. Tyson Fury is a crazy character. Maybe he's holding back. Maybe he could have knocked Pianetta out early, but he's held it back for a strategic reason.
A Machiavellian interpretation from David Hay. Well, last round, he's just checking that's the case. And I wonder if he's saying, well, now's the time. I can go out there and finish him. Nice show of respect from the two. It's actually, it's worth saying, it's been fought in a very good spirit. Been no nastiness, really.
No, there's been no real
aggro.
No aggro at all. Maybe a little too little from Pianetta. Maybe he needed to show a little bit more aggression because the technique and the mindset he's come into this fight with, you know, doesn't give him any chance of pulling off a stoppage victory, particularly in this last round.
Well,
it's a southpaw Gypsy King again in the last 3 minutes, Barry.
Yeah, well, and he does that quite comfortable as well, as we've seen in the past. But you know, I've been disappointed with Pianetta. I think Fury's been boxing tremendously well. But for the guy, this is not a massive chance for Fury. This is a fight that he knew he could win if he was anywhere near the form. But for Pianetta, this is the biggest chance of his career since his world title challenge, and he's come woefully short, I feel, and he hasn't made enough effort. Easier said than done against obviously someone like Fury, but he could have really, you know, gone for broke after about round 7 or 8.
He could have tried harder. You see, obviously it's hard to look in from the outside and say he should, could have, would have, should have. But you know, I don't feel the intensity from him. I don't feel him really throwing the kitchen sink in any of his shots. He's just trying to play it safe and trying to hear the final bell.
But let's be honest, this is his world title fight, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt.
2 good body shots from Fury there, and switch the attack to the head. Pianetta says, come on, let's have another.